to first share a little bit about myself. I'm a triple diamond with the company. I've been in for about 7 years, almost 8 years actually in December. I am absolutely in love. I fall in love every day. I cannot believe it's already been this long. And I still just feel like a newbie. There's so many new things to learn. When I first started, we didn't do sample selling like we do then. It was just the wrap basically. And so now we have all the opportunities to be able to share and to sample everything. And so I'm really excited for all of you. So first we're going to have Amy Johnson on. She's amazing. So I'm going to unmute you, Amy, and what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you a few questions. She is wonderful at sample selling, and so she's going to share all of her tips. One of the things that I love about sample selling, you guys, is if you are new to the company and your commission check isn't quite where you want it to be. I think my first check was like $14 and some odd cents or something. And I was like, I cannot live on this. So what can I do? And what I did is focus on the fast start bonuses. Every time I enrolled a distributor and got 2 loyal customers, you get a bonus. So I focused on that, but now we have this great opportunity to sample sell. And so we're going to learn how to do that and maybe do that weekly. So that way you guys have an extra weekly income coming in. So Amy, if you want to introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, your new rank. I'm super excited for you, and we'll get started.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Tashina. So I'm Amy Johnson, and I am from Michigan, about 45 minutes from Detroit, and I am a diamond leader. And so I'm excited to be able to join you guys and just kind of share a few tips that I use when I push my sample sales.
All right, Amy. So I am wondering because where do you start? So a lot of people in here are like, okay, where do I even begin? I have all these sample packs, or I'm brand new and I have these samples sitting in my back office, but how do you get started with your introduction to people buying the sample from you?
So I do multiple things. I typically will put up a sample post, excuse me, a couple times a week. I just kind of throw that out there. And it's basically that I am shipping out sample wraps, either keto coffee, skinny tea, or skinny wraps. So I'll put that out a couple times. People kind of watch it. I put it on my stories and I put it on my page. And I'll also, when I put it on my page, sometimes in my comments, I will put results pictures. Excuse me, of course, I'll start coughing now. People like to see results. And so when I post results pictures, then I usually get a lot of hits. Another thing is that I can't remember who I learned this from. It might have been Melissa. I do birthday shout outs, but I do it in their messenger. And then along with that is a little sample script. Like usually it's, $20 for sample, a 3-pack experience pack is what we have been calling it, just because people see sample when you post it and they think it's free. And so I get a lot of that. And so I kind of shifted it up to experience packs. And so, I'll offer that to them for a $5 discount. And so that has helped me get sample cash. And then I just message people, I just start messaging people. I haven't posted my actual results from the skinny wraps or the skinny tea as far as just my belly is concerned, but I posted before and after pictures where, a couple months ago, I was a lot more chubbier around my midsection, and then I might post another picture with it where, I've lost weight. And so people see that and they're like, wow, like what's going on? So like today I had a customer pick up a wrap, while I was at work. I just put it on my porch, or my son did, and they picked it up. So that was a quick $25 today. And so I'm just always sharing. I'm always talking about people.
That is awesome. I love that. Do you happen to, so you said you do a lot of posting about the sample wraps. You said 2 to 3 times a week, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so 2 to 3 times a week you're posting that. And then is it pretty much the same post that you're posting, or do you switch it up a little bit?
It's pretty much the same, and it's the one that is in our task. There's a couple different ones that have come through the daily task, and so I'll put one up one day, and a couple days later I'll put another one up. So today it was kind of like a shout out to my girl that picked up her skinny wrap, first, and then I tagged her in it, and then at the bottom of that it was, I'm still sending out samples, for the rest of the week until I run out, to see who else is interested. And some weeks are good weeks, some weeks are kind of, dry, but I don't stop posting.
Yeah. So as far as the skinny tea and the sleepy tea and the skinny brew, are you using your sample app for that to send those?
Yep.
And then for the wraps, you're just sending directly.
Yep. And so I'll order the wraps with my product rewards. And so I'll kind of keep some on hand, for people that live around me that are interested. So like a couple of weeks ago, I sold a pack to one of my parents from school. And because I was being kind, I sold her a second pack. And so, but typically by the first pack and you finish all 3, I'm reeling you in to become a loyal customer, because I'll say, you don't get that special but one time. And so now I need you to do it this way.
Yes, I absolutely love that. So I have recently been selling wraps as well. I haven't done that in a long time, and I don't know why I haven't. I think we just got away from it. Now I feel like wraps are making a comeback. Yeah. So my daughter is a senior in high school, and prom has been close by, and so I've had girls coming to me, and I've been wrapping them so that way they can fit into their prom dresses a little bit better. I wish I would have thought about it like way sooner, and I didn't. But then somebody messaged me and they're like, "Hey, my daughter can't get the back of her dress zipped. I know you have those things that shrink you, right?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And I'm like, "Dang it, I missed out on a great opportunity. I should have been like really honing in on this." So also when I'm doing the wraps, I love that it's almost instant results, right? So it's so gratifying for most people. They'll see a result within that first 72 hours or that first wrap they put on. And I absolutely love that. So when I'm getting the wrap on people, I am letting them know, hey, send me your before picture, and then I'm going to have it ready to put your side by side right next to it. So that way they already have that, and they're excited for each next wrap. So that way, some people don't see the results that first wrap, but they know that we're working on this together, and they're going to be continually sending me new photos. Yeah. So also with that, because they've already done a 3 wrap pack, I can upgrade them usually to a distributor pretty fast, just by saying, hey, you've already had such wonderful results with the 3-day experience. How about you think about becoming a distributor, and you not only get to use the wraps, but you get 7 free 3-day sample packs. So that has been working for me really well too. Yeah. So,
and I've been upselling a lot. So if I move them into a LC, then I'm going to say you can get 6 packs right now, or 6 wraps for, the $69. And so they're quick to be, to jump into that as well.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you next, because you have been really good about following up with these samples. So everyone that you are selling samples to, you've been really great following up and then converting them over to an LC. So we all know that that sample cash is amazing, but what's even better is that residual income that keeps coming in, and that's what you're doing, is able to flip them over. So how long after you are sending out these samples are you following up, and can you share with us maybe what your follow-up looks like?
Yep. And so basically I follow my It Works Connect app, because I'm more like, if I write it down just in a book, it's hard sometimes because I work still full time to get back to the book during the day, but I can pull up the app easily at my lunch and just send my reminders to those that I've already sent out samples to. And the reminders are already put in place for you. Basically, you just have to click which one, so if it's, they should have already had their sample by now, then I'll send the reminder that speaks about that. And then I'll get a response. If I don't get a response right away, I'll send I'll set a reminder for me to respond to them within 24 hours. And then I'll send a message again to them. So what I found out is, is that people are watching you and they might not respond right away. And so they love this coffee. The coffee is working, but they might not have the money to start it right now, but they're watching. And so they are going to make a way if they see that results are happening, and they're just kind of under the radar, low key. And this is what I found. I had people kind of follow me. I was posting about my birthday and turning 50 and the weight that I wanted to lose, and I had people in my inbox after I posted some of my pictures from my birthday photo shoot, and they were like, dang girl, okay, so I am ready to get this coffee, or did you do the wraps for your stomach? And I'm like, yeah, and so you mix in the two. So you being consistent with the posting, as well as doing the follow-ups in the Connect app. And I think once people see that you are really doing something, then they'll jump on board.
Yeah, I love that because it's not just consistency. You can post every day, all day long, but you have to be consistent with the products because you are your biggest spokesperson. And if you have those personal results and you have a love for this product and what it's doing for you and how it's making you feel, that is going to speak volumes, and you're going to be able to help so many more people. So I love, love, love that. You are super consistent also with using the Connect app. So basically, you're just using the tools that we have right in our hands for us. The thing about it is you're actually doing it. You're utilizing the tools that we have, and you are being consistent with it, and it's paying off, right? So do you happen to have a goal each week or each day for samples, or do you just kind of go with it?
So for the samples, I just kind of go with the flow. Every now and then I'll say, I want to sell. My goal is triggered by, okay, I'm doing something this week. So when I was going out of town, I wanted to have a little extra to give to my son who lives in North Carolina. So when I got down there, I wanted to be able to give him some extra cash. And so I was going to focus on using my sample cash to do that. And so I was able to make, I think it was $150 before I left. And so I was able to, give him a little change, and he was excited about that. And so I just kind of go each week, I go, with whatever I have going on.
That is amazing. I remember, I'm going to go back to the wraps just a little bit. So like I said, I had been doing this for 7 or 8 years now. And my kids obviously were a lot younger then. And I remember my son is a little entrepreneur, and he's always looking to make money somehow. And so I would say, okay, Blake, if you sell this wrap for $25 to anybody at school, any of your teachers or whatever, I'm going to give you $5 commission. And he was like in 3rd grade. And I remember him just being so excited, and he'd come home with a list of, Mom, this teacher wants this, or Mom, this aide wants this. And so he would be selling for me, and we made it a family affair. And he still talks about that sometimes, and so sharing this with your kids and your families and making it a group effort, I love that. And those are some of my favorite memories. Now that he's almost a freshman in high school, I don't think he'd be as willing to do that for me. But if you guys have young kids and they have no fear, they don't care, that's a great opportunity for you guys to do that. And they're learning, they're proud of what they're doing and what you're doing as a mom. So that was just a little thing that I thought of real fast. All right, Amy, so do you have any last little tips or anything that you want to share, any nuggets of information before we're going to move on?
Just basically, if you want it, you have to go after it. People are not going to just fall in your lap. You got to work your business in order for you to get results, and be able to make that extra income. So you got to be consistent. You got to share. You got to, you got to post regularly. You can't just post, one day and then 5 days later, something has come up, and so you're distracted, and then 5 days later you post and expect for people to see and believe that you have a product that's working.
Yes. Yeah. Do you mind, once we move on to the next girl, do you mind if posting in the chat some of your scripts that you might use for follow-up? And you had said that you message also for samples. So if you could maybe post those messages, that would be fantastic. We appreciate all your knowledge and your excitement. I'm so glad that you were on tonight. We're going to move on to Christy. And let's see if I can find Christy on here. And I will unmute her. Where are you, Christy? Oh, there you are. I see you waving. Hey, girl. How are you? So I'm going to let Christy introduce herself, but first I do want to say, because this is fantastic. So she made over $1,000, so you guys, last week in sample selling. So not like she hasn't made over $1,000 in the span of her starting this. Like she made over $1,000 last week. So I'm super excited. When I first, Christy, before we get started, if you, because I know everybody's going to ask, if you want to type in your TikTok handle into the chat, because I know people are going to be wanting to stalk your TikTok and see what you're doing because you're having a lot of success there. So if you want to just type that in, and then we will get started.
Okay, give me just a second. It's just first
people
class.
are
Super simple.
Yeah, that's good. So I know, I love that people are using all different platforms. Christy, you use multiple platforms, but first we're going to talk about, well, first introduce yourself, because you have been just killing it, and I feel like your name is popping up everywhere. So go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
Okay, my name is Christy Schlegel, and I am a single mom of 2 kids, and I am a diamond. And I actually just promoted my boyfriend's account to diamond as well last month. So we're both diamonds, which I work both of our accounts. But I was very close to double last month. Didn't hit it, but that just goes to show you don't give up, keep going. And so that's what we're pushing for this month. And I am just so excited to be on here and share, you know, the tips. And it's not just things that I'm doing, it's things that I get on the Zooms, you know, I get on because I know that they're going to be helping me, and it's stuff that I'm learning from other people. I'm just putting it into action. Now I did, you know, go up a step and start doing it on TikTok, which really exploded, because you never know on that platform what, you know, what's going to happen. And anybody, like, my videos are ridiculous, so if I can do it, anybody can.
Yeah, so you had said earlier that your TikTok did blow up. And so you're getting most of your sample selling from TikTok, and you are posting videos about the samples on TikTok. Are you then messaging them? Because I know TikTok is sometimes hard to message through there. How are you transferring them over? Are you transferring them over to your IG, your Facebook? How are you connecting with them after you're posting?
So each time it's a little different, because they have to be following you on TikTok in order for you to message them. And then some people, even though they're following you, their privacy settings are set to where, like, you can't message them at all. So, like, I try not to focus on them as much. In the comments, I'll say, you know, you have to fix your privacy settings and then message me, because I get a lot of those. But so at first I was just saying, like, if you're interested, you know, in a sample pack, message me or comment on this video, because I noticed a lot of people weren't messaging. They would, you know, comment instead. And so I put in on the video, I put USA only, because I did that before and I had people from all over the country wanting samples. So I would definitely do that. And so what I do now is I put my phone number on there. At first I was kind of skeptical about it, because I was probably like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a bunch of weirdos wanting to, like, go on a date or whatever. But luckily I haven't yet. And what I love about our phones these days is, if I do, I'm just gonna block them, because I've had so many people messaging me. But I do try to get them straight, even if they text me sample. You know, I find out what they want, and I'm like, hey, go ahead and follow me on Facebook. And if they don't have Facebook, I say Instagram, because I want them to be following me so that they can see, you know, everything else that I'm posting about and stuff. And so I'm very loud about the samples. I do this every single week. My goal every week is $500. Just so happened, you know, I had that video. And when I say blow up, it didn't get like tens of thousands of views. Like, it was like just a couple hundred. It wasn't even that many. And so then I redid another one, but I'm really just being loud about it, just putting it out there. I use my rewards, my product rewards, to do the wraps, because you pay 19 and then you sell them each for $25 a piece. Like, you're really making a good profit. And then I'm just really loud on Facebook about it too, and in my stories. And I always act like I only have like 5. I've only got 5, like today. And I'm like Amy, I do it a couple times a week. I try to post about it on Sundays, Wednesdays, and either Thursday nights or Friday morning. And then I usually ask like girls on my team to go boost my sample posts, or I'll put in the comments like only 2 left. And then I do the same thing as Amy. I show results. People want to see results. That ever since I started showing results, because I wasn't doing that at first, but when I started showing results, like nobody says no now. And I give them the option to like, which one suits you best? Sleepy tea, you know, the coffee. And I do skinny tea just because I have a lot on me right now. And just because I'm going to be able to, you know, triple my profit, turn around, buy more and do it again. And I just tell people like, I only go to the post office Mondays and Fridays. I'm not going to the post office every single day. So
I love that, because one of my biggest problems is, and I'm just going to be completely transparent, is I am horrible at going to the post office. Like my intentions are so good and I suck. Like I am the worst person to send anything out. And so I really love that you set dates or days of the week that you just make them your post office days. I think that's a great tip. I'm actually going to write that. I wrote that down on my notes because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do that, just so that way I have that. Also, if you have that written down in your schedule, you know you have to go to the post office to send things out, which means what? You have to be selling things to send out, right? So I love that. I love that you give yourself a goal of $500 per week. That is amazing, you guys. Some people don't make that in their normal work job, like their work traditional jobs. Like they don't make $500, and that's just in samples. That has nothing to do with commission. And so I love that. Do you feel like, are you only doing like mailing things out? Are you buying everything at like your price and then mailing it out, or do you use the sample app as well?
I use the sample app too. Every week, I've just been doing the samples. The last like 3 weeks, I've been doing the wraps and the skinny tea just because I got extra. And I had a lot of people wanting to try the skinny tea that would not commit. So I was like, you know what? They're gonna sign up as a customer anyway, so I might as well just buy it, let them try it. And I always send thank you cards to my customers, and I always put, you know, like a skinny tea in there, a coffee, and the energy. And that has just like blew out of the water too. Like they're even sharing it with their friends. And I always ask them if they would post it on social media or make a TikTok about it or something and tag me in it. And then I'll give them a entry into the giveaway as well. So that has helped too. But so just alone last week, I made a little over 600 just by the sample app. So you don't have to do wraps. You don't have to go to the post office. And I know some of my girls were like, I don't really have money to put into getting the samples. And this is what I tell them: go ahead and pre-sell to enough to go ahead and buy your samples. And then that, because that's how I got started. I didn't have extra money to put into it either. And I was like, okay, if I can get a few people to go ahead and buy, then that'll give me, and then I'll take that and buy more. And it just, you know, you just keep going.
Well, yeah, I feel like now it's like, oh my gosh, how much more can I make? That, I mean, that's so exciting. So your thank you cards, how long is it before you send them a thank you card, your loyal customers?
Well, I was doing it at the end of every month, but being that I signed like 70 or more customers a month, that just got a little out of hand. So I started doing it every week. So like every Friday when I go, whoever has signed up for that, you know, I go ahead and do. And another thing too is last week I just had so many people wanting to get wraps, and I ran out of wraps. So what I was telling them is, I was like, nope, you can go ahead and pay because I have some on the way. They'll be in a few days, then I'll send them out. And I had a lot of people local too. So I'm just going to meet them when they come in. So don't like hesitate, like, oh, I don't have any, I can't sell them. Yes, you can. Just let them know your next shipment is coming.
So I had a question here. Do you do a single wrap for 25?
I do.
And then are you, if they want the whole pack, are you charging 75?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So do I. I do the same thing, because a perk of being a loyal customer is that they get that discount pricing. And so you don't want people to start taking advantage of your services, and then it's more work for you meeting or wrapping or doing all of that. So I do that too. I know that was a question I thought.
And I only let them buy one time. I don't constantly let them keep, oh, I need to, you know, I'm like, look,
since you are loving them, like we need to get you signed up. And I try to go distributor route because that's where they're going to get their own product rewards. That's where they're going to get, and they're going to be making the same amount as well, you know, selling samples. And this is a good way for people to not have to wait on weekly bonuses on Thursdays or even that monthly commissions. I know I have a lot of new ladies on my team that are like, I really need diaper money. I need grocery money. I need gas money. This is the way to do it. And you have to be out there. You just have to be loud. Like, I was like, people are probably tired of me posting about it, but oh well, they don't pay my bills, and I'm going to keep doing it because, and another thing I started doing is going live. I don't like going live. It's out of my comfort zone, but that's helped as well with samples because again, people want to see results and they want to know facts. So I just get on there and say, hey, you know, this is the skinny coffee. This is what it does. It burns fat. It gives you energy. Like name what things that it does, and then talk about how it's helped you. And then just put out there how, you know, I've got 3 samples left, you know, people are going nuts over these, you know, and so on.
So have you created some sort of schedule on TikTok where you are doing so many sample videos and then maybe like a non-it works video? Can you share a little bit about what your TikTok might look like as far as your schedule goes with your videos?
Yeah. So, actually, I haven't been very consistent with TikTok. Shame on me. But shout out to Nicole. She's the one that helps me with TikTok too. So I can't take all the credit. But so I try to get my stuff done at least one day a week, which I try to do it on Sundays after church because I have a lot of free time then between then and spending time with my family. And so I try to just do a ton of videos, and throughout the week, like my daughter, she's about to be 13. So she knows like every TikTok video, she knows what's viral, like she knows all the things. So she'll tell me whenever she sees something that's, you know, doing really good or a hashtag or whatever. And so I'll try to do like on TikTok, I'm only doing 2 sample videos a week. And again, like I try to do it at the beginning of the week, Sunday or Monday or Thursday or Friday morning. I usually try to do it on Thursday night because it'll give it time to be, you know, people will be commenting and boosting it so that Friday when people get paid, it's already got several comments or people are already reaching out. And it can get a little bit crazy when you have a lot of people messaging you, but just, you know, just take a deep breath because, you know, you get to get back to them when you can, because I had a lot of people last week, like insane messages left and right of the samples. And I'm a pencil and pen type person. So I write down who they are. I go ahead and put their address down, you know, and know exactly what I'm going to do. But, so yeah, so I try to make all my videos for the week because that way every day I'm not like, okay, I need to make some that are non-business today. Okay, I need to make product ones today. I was doing that and it was driving me nuts because it was just so time consuming every single day.
Yeah.
So
because you said you're not only making all of the sample money, but you are now signing up to 70 customers a month. So you're obviously flipping them from your sample person to a loyal customer. So what does that look like for you?
So I give them enough time to, you know, get their sample. And if you use the app, it usually tells you when it was delivered. So I'm like, hey girl, I noticed, you know, your sample got delivered today. I'm so excited for you to try it. You know, if you'll throw up a post with it, and I let them know, like, you don't have to take a picture of yourself if you're not comfortable with that. It can be your coffee cup or whatever, and tag me, and I'm going to give you an extra entry because these are people that host a post for me too. And so they're like, yeah, sure, anything to help you out. So then I give them enough time to just, you know, try it. And some people are like, well, I forgot, I'm going to try it tomorrow. And then I'll message them. If those type people that forget, I message them when I'm making my coffee and I'm like, hey, don't forget to try that coffee today. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're missing out. And so, and then I just, before that second day, I already know that they've tried it. Most of them are already telling me, oh my gosh, I got to have this coffee or tea or whatever. And so, I'm already, you know, letting them know, hey, look at the deal we have going. Like, this is only going to be today and tomorrow. Like, that urgency is what gets them to go ahead and sign because they don't want to miss out on the deal. And so, yeah,
love that.
Yeah, most of them do flip as a customer. And then, of course, you know, sometimes they don't see results, you know, just like I told one girl, you're not going to lose 15 pounds with just drinking 3 days worth of coffee. So that's when I try to upsell to the gummies or the Thermophyte X or something. And again, let them know it's on sale today only.
Yes, I love that. And not only, so you're not just selling to make the fast cash, you're selling and you're building a relationship with them. And I love that you're constantly following up, not just, okay, thanks for your $20. Have a great day. You know, like you are showing people by constantly following up that you care and that you want to see results. And with that, you're building that relationship with them. And that is so huge, you guys. I think that's key to just having that relationship with your customers, and they're getting excited then, right? Like they're posting for you, you guys are working together and you're building them relationships, and that is so important. So I love that. We're going to move on because you also, not only on TikTok, but you are sending a really great birthday message. So you have been getting samples through a birthday message that you are sending to people too. And I know people are going to ask, so you're going to share that in the chat. And are you sending these to everybody every day for their birthday?
Every single day. If it's
Yep.
their birthday, they're getting one. And if they don't answer me, they're getting another message before the end of the day. Girl, you got to get this coffee that I'm letting you get for $5 off. And I do normal 25 and you're going to pay 20, because I was doing the whole $15 thing. And you guys, people would pay $20. Like the coffee is like, honestly, they should pay 25. It is worth it. And so I was like, I'm cheating myself. Like, because people like, it's only 15. And I was like, all right, y'all keep saying that. Like, okay, God, I hear you, you know? And so, yeah, I sent it to everybody. And some people are like, so the one that I have only says sleepy tea and coffee, but I edited it yesterday because people were like, I got a lot the last 2 days. They were like, I don't like coffee. And I'm, you know, I try to let them know it's not like regular coffee, but still they were like totally against it. And they're like, I don't want the sleepy tea because I have fine sleeping. So I'm like, okay, I've got to get around this to where I can put in the skinny tea and the wraps as well. And so that's what I did. I edited it to where they can pick one of those, you know, that I have on hand. And I even put the energy in there because I just used a bunch of product rewards to get several bags of those. So again, whatever you have, or if you sign a couple of customers, you can get those rewards, and you're going to flip your money big time with the product rewards. But, so yeah, I send it to them, and then I wait for them to respond which one, and they always say thank you. And yesterday I had 3 people that just said, thank you so much. I hope you have a good day too. And I said, what about the sample, girl? Would you like this, you know, birthday credit for your birthday? So you just have to know how to like flip that around, because they don't want to be rude either. So they're not going to just like totally ignore you. And then after I do that, I turn that into a host to post. I have them post for me as well. So you got to think about how to do it. Like, you're asking them everything. Then I'll go back in 24 hours and ask them, hey, would you like to sign up and do this with me? Like, you literally did what I do. And then, you know, just keep asking all the things. But, so yeah, so they usually pick, and then I've had people today, they were picking a wrap and coffee. So I'm like, sure thing.
That is great. When I am listening to you, the word that keeps popping in my head is relentless. Everyone needs a little bit of your relentlessness, because you don't take no for an answer. And if you do, it's like, okay, I'm just going to move on because somebody's going to say yes. And I love that you are asking multiple times, because I think that's so needed. People get busy. They might be driving in the car. I mean, I know that's happened to me where I'm like, oh yeah, I seen this while I was driving briefly and I shouldn't really be looking at my phone, but I did. And then all of a sudden you totally forgot about that, you know? And so people need those reminders. And the way you're doing it, you're sounding so excited about getting this product in their hand because it's so amazing that you're not being like nagging. You know, you are sounding excited about it. And so when you're excited, other people are going to get excited. So that's my word for you, is relentless. I absolutely love it. Everybody needs a little bit of Christy's piece of that. So I love that. And then I was reading my own notes. Will you post your birthday message in there?
Absolutely.
And then maybe just a little sample of how you're following up again. Because I think some people get stuck there where they're like, ah, I already asked, how do I ask again? So if you could post those two things in the chat, Christy, that would be fantastic. Do you have any more words of wisdom or anything
That's
that
really
you'd like
it.
to
You
share?
know, when I first started this business, I was one that was like, I don't want nobody to cuss me out. Like, I don't want anybody to unfriend me. Like, I was very like, but you know, when it comes down to it, they're gonna do it anyways. It doesn't matter. Like, they don't pay your bills, and I had to really like have a come to Jesus with myself and say, you know, plus you have to look at it like this, like you're helping them. Like you're actually helping them, and then you're going to turn around and ask them to be a distributor as well. So like you have to look at it like you're helping them, and this is someone's life that could be changed all because of a wrap or all because of a, you know, sample or whatever. So that's how I started having to look at it, was like, I'm not bugging them, I'm helping them, but also helping my family as well. So don't think like you're constantly nagging at them. And that's where I like the scripts even show like you're you know, being caring and stuff. So I mean, this is what I tell my team. I'm gonna follow up with someone until they block me or they join. That's it. Like you're gonna do one or the other, because I have so many that end up joining and they're like, I've been watching you for 3 months. Like, I just can't take it anymore. Like, and then I have people that even tell me, thank you so much. Like, you are good at what you do. You constantly, like every Friday, I know Christy's messaging me. So you just have to keep doing it, because you know what? I've never made the income that I make with this company. And I was working 2 jobs, 7 days a week, over 50 hours a week, missing out on my kids' life. And because of the system we have in place, this has allowed me to quit both of those jobs, and I get to live the life of freedom, and I'm debt free now, like all because of these things and getting on these Zooms and learning all types of ways to do it.
Yes, I'm so thankful for you sharing. I do have one last question for you, because you have so many different follow-ups that you're doing. How do you keep track?
The boards app.
Yeah, I mean, so like, let's say, because you're really good at coming back, you mentioned something earlier about coming back 24 hours later. How are you like writing everybody down that you have to follow up with every day? What does that kind of look like for you? Because it seems like it could get overwhelming. And then at the same point, you don't want to miss anybody. You don't want to lose an opportunity. So how are you keeping track of that?
So it really just depends. Like last week, yes, I was writing them down. Like I have my task sheet, but I also have a notebook, and I do write them down if I get that many people that are interested, because some of them and I always send the request to them on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I always say, what's yours? I'm going to send you a request, because that way, because if they send it to you, they're going to click that they're buying something, and it's going to cheat you out some of your money, and you're only going to get $10 instead of 20. You know, it always charges. So I started requesting it, and I still have people that still haven't followed through and bought some from last week. So that's a way too that I see, is who hasn't paid yet. But if it gets crazy, I do write it down. And I wouldn't sometimes it can get overwhelming when so many people are, you know, coming at you, but you just have to think of this one thing at a time, like one person at a time. And I have my time where I sit down and I work, and then I have my time where I'm like doing other things. So, you know, if I'm like, okay, I still have 200 messages, well, they're going to have to wait until it's time for me to sit down and work again, you know, so it's not taken away from my family time, or, you know, because it can be very time consuming if you have so many messages. So you just have to think of it like they're going to be waiting when you get back to them anyways. But and then of course boards and text replacement, that's how I keep up, you know, with the follow-ups and stuff.
Yeah. So when you're sending wraps singly, I have a question. What is your estimated shipping for sending a single wrap? Can you think
It just
off the top of your head?
So it depends on where they live. Like last Monday, I sent some to California, Oregon, and Washington State and Florida, and it was there by Friday. And I sent it like Monday late afternoon. Like it probably didn't even get picked up till Tuesday, because it was like 4 when I went to but then today I sent 2 counties over from where I live, and it's going to be there in 2 days. So it just really depends on where they live. And for just regular mail, they always have a tracking number that they circle for me, and I keep all of those in an envelope, because I didn't at first. And I had people that were like, I didn't get it. And I'm like, what? Well, I don't have the tracking now. I threw it away. So now I keep them in an envelope. When they say they have it, I throw that, you know, the ticket away.
Awesome.
You
Perfect.
just have to,
Thank you.
got to get a system in place. You have to get a system.
And all those trips to the post office are a tax write-off. So save all those receipts.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing too. All right. Well, thank you so much, Christy. We appreciate you on. You helped out a lot of people. I think that everyone should drop right now in the comments how much they're going to, what their goal is for sample cash this week. Because you having a goal of 500 out there, I think everybody should have at least a $20 goal, to, even if they've never ever done it before, to have a goal that way. So if you guys could drop your goal number down in the comments, that would be fantastic. I know there's power in writing it down. And so if you are typing it in the chat, you're claiming it. And I totally believe in that. So if everyone could do that. The next person we're going to have on is Erin. And Erin, let me find Erin. Let's see here. I know I've seen you earlier, Erin. Maybe I skipped over. Oh, there you are. All right. Hello, Erin. Nice to meet you. I've never met you before, so I'm excited to be on this with you. So Erin, you if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to go into, because you have a little bit different approach on how you do this. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and how long you've been in, and then we'll get started.
Well, my name is Erin Humbles. I'm from Colorado and I'm a diamond leader. I've been with It Works for just a little bit over 2 years, but I finally just went all in January and went ruby to diamond in 3 months. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
That is great. So you, Erin, you are doing things a little bit differently, and you send samples to your new loyal customers. So yes. You are, and that's how you're building that relationship. So can you talk a little bit about how you do that, or what your routine kind of looks like for that?
So every loyal customer that I get, I send out my thank you card the same night, just like you would go in and enter in your like your host to post entries. So I do those two things like side by side, get my thank you cards out. And then after they get them, about a week later, I send them a message and talk to them that I'm going to send them a sample pack, and that I think that these are products that would really help them or really love them. You know, and it depends on the person. If it was if it was like a pick 2 or it was a low BV order, sometimes I'll send them out for free. If it was a higher BV order, sometimes I will charge them and ask them if they want to do the 3 for $20. And I never limit just to coffee. I've got Best Fat Fuel, Energy, Greens, Sleepy Tea. And I like to kind of go a little bit opposite of whatever their auto shipment is. And then, so I always talk to them about the pick 2 and 3 deals that we have this sale going on right now. And if they love it, that we can do an order for that before the month is out. And I just kind of let it be. And then I go and I follow up with that 3 days later, because I know it doesn't take very long, and I do my own shipping, and I have the software on my computer to do all that, so I can track it. I know when it shows up. So therefore, when I get alerted, then I can go in and I can send those messages. My husband is super tech savvy, so I get a lot of perks for that, because I don't know what I'm doing. But then after that, I ask them if they love it. And I just send a simple message that says, I'd love to get you started on this so you can start seeing all of the benefits. And that's pretty much also the message that I send if I do a cold message sample and I just sold that through Venmo or Cash App or whatever. It's the same thing, is that I'd really like for them to see the full benefits of what they're taking.
I love that. You are also really good. I'm hearing like a constant theme of really good customer service from all 3 of you ladies tonight, and just being consistent and keeping in touch with your customers. And I think that's so wonderful. But you are also great at getting referrals. So you have set up kind of your own friend referral program, and it's not only expanding your network, but you are also adding to potentials everywhere. So can you explain that referral program that you have worked out?
Yeah. So for all of my customers, as soon as I sign them, I ask them if they know anybody who would be interested in trying the coffee that they're trying, or whatever product is kind of along in there, or anything that they would be interested in. And that when those people sign up, I'm going to be sending them free products. It's either full size. It kind of just depends on what I have on hand at the time. Right now I have an overload of the Thermophyte. So that's what I'm going to be sending if they're in weight loss. And then I also have some of the older wraps, which I haven't decided on yet, but I kind of just bounce back and forth between what I'm going to send the customers. So I'm constantly rewarding them, which does kind of cost me sometimes. But at the same time, I haven't been signing any like single product orders. It's always been 2 products or more. So I kind of feel like it's worth it to keep my customers. I'm really trying to focus on customer retention because I do not like having to lose my customers and then restock everything all the time. So I'm really trying to fine tune those skills and keep all of my customers. So I figured that that's a pretty good way to do it. It's worked so far. As long as you keep them happy and they've got things coming, they see it as a reward system. They're talking to more people and then more people are coming to me, and I'm growing my network through word of mouth instead of having to reach so far. I have 4 kids, so sometimes I don't hit my 100 messages, or, you know, I have off weeks just like everybody else. And so that kind of allows my business to keep working when I'm not working. And so I'm still kind of experimenting with it, but so far so good.
I love it. Do you have, because we've heard some people are setting goals for themselves for their sample selling. Some people are just kind of going with it. Do you have maybe a friend referral goal that you have in your mind every week, or do you have a cash goal in mind every week, or do you have anything like that set?
So I always want to make $100 a week. $100 a week to me still pays my trash and my water bill. So it's kind of a big deal. And I just kind of go off of every single customer I get. Like, I want them working with me. I want to be talking on their page, commenting when their friends are commenting and things like that. So I always try to get at least 1 referral from each customer that I have. And I just really work on that no matter how long it takes. I keep all of my customers in my planner. So if I sign somebody up that day, they go on my planner. And so I really only have to look back for the week and see all the people that I signed or talked to, and I can kind of follow up, and I do my follow-ups weekly like that, unless it's daily if I had a lot.
Awesome. I think I heard you say that you want $100 a week to pay for your utilities. And I think there is so much power to that, because if you have a reason of why you need that money, you have to make it happen. Like, you aren't gonna not go to your traditional job and not get paid and then not have a paycheck at the end of the week, because you have to have it to pay the bills, right? So you are working this the same way you would work a job, and you know that this is what you have to do to pay X, Y, and Z. I know personally for me, when I first started this, the only thing I really wanted was to not be late again on a gas or electric bill or utility bill, because I was getting shut off notices left and right. And so I feel that, and now you can do that weekly. And like, that was what my fast start bonuses were always for, is to pay those utilities, because I never ever wanted to see those red letter bills in the mail ever again, because it's a horrible feeling. So now things are a little bit different. My daughter's graduating high school, and so we have some extra things that we want to kind of implement into her graduation party. And I don't want it to come out of straight commission checks. So I want that to be all extra. So when you have a certain, she's like, oh, are you talking about me? I'm like, yeah, I can't say too much because she's nosy. But when you have a goal in mind like that, I think it helps, because it just makes you eager to do that. So Erin, how do you follow up? You said you have a notebook. You follow up weekly. Do you have any specific messages or anything that makes it easier for you? Do you use boards? What do you use?
I do use a lot of, I use a lot of the boards. When it comes to following up with people, I tend not to use scripts at all. I mean, I have kind of like a basis just for following up. Hey, like, how are you loving your coffee? Love to get you started so you can start seeing the full benefits. We have this sale right now. I don't want you to miss out. Are you ready? And I'm not, I used to be really passive last year. And then now it's not so much. Like, if you're passive with this, people are going to tell you no. If you ask them if they're interested, they're going to be able to say no. So I try not to use like, are you interested in getting started ever? Because I've learned that when I do that, I get a lot of people that are like, not right now, I'm not interested. And then I can't follow up with them anymore. And so I have stopped using, are you interested? I say, are you ready? Or I will say something that's very to the point like that. But as far as following up, that's basically the message for both realms. It's just really simple and sweet and to the point.
So I gotta dig in here a little bit. I hope you don't mind. But you said last year you were very passive, and now this year you're a little bit not at all. And so there must have been a mindset shift along the way. Do you mind sharing what maybe triggered that? Because I think a lot of people are in that passive, and they don't want to push. Like no one wants to feel like a Kirby vacuum sales lady. And I'm like, but you can do it in a healthy way. So
Right.
what was that shift for you?
So I come from a poverty background. We were struggling really hard for years, and last year had to be probably the hardest I've ever had in my life. And my whole family, I just had to watch all these things that we couldn't control through 2020, and it was just terrible. I was starting to sink really hard, and actually it was my upline talking with her every single day, and my Ohana, it's our group that we have, and just being really in touch with all of those ladies, because the sense of community that I had was absolutely outstanding. And so basically listening to my upline beat it into my head over and over again about how I needed to shift my mindset before anything could actually happen, because I was waiting for things to happen before I shifted my mindset. And I thought that I was doing all the right things, and I was not. So I don't know, I came to the realization that if you're going to be here and this is what you're choosing, then why not go all in? And by all in, I don't mean like you're sitting here and you're listening to the Zooms. You are doing every single thing that you can that day to make a connection, to talk to somebody, to learn something, to make money, whatever it is. Like, do not stop. And this is going to take sacrifice. And so I just started listening every time I got on a Zoom, and it was send these 5 tasks. You know how in the beginning you start and you're like, oh, I sent 3, but they're moving on, so now I'm going to move on. And I didn't. I would sit there and I would make sure that I got those 5 things out and start showing up to every Zoom that I possibly could. And then after the mindset shifted, things just started like coming into place, because you don't just wake up one day and be successful. You pretend to be successful. You talk about your success, you speak it, and you tell people that's what's going on. And it just starts to become your life, because what you say is what you become. And so that was just the really big thing. So my passiveness then it turned into my drive. And it was like, if I don't come away with a customer today, I have to get 2 tomorrow. And so I would try really hard to make sure that I hit that customer goal every single day, because sometimes it was really hard for me to get 2 up. And I just started pushing myself and staying up as late as it took and just listening to my leaders.
Okay, I thank you. I mean, I asked you that, and I kind of put you on a vulnerable spot, but I do think there's so much growth in mindset. And if your mind is right, you are so ready to tackle everything. I love your Ohana tribe. I love Liz. She's just amazing. So I'm assuming that's who you're talking about, because
Yes.
yeah, you guys have made a staple name for yourselves, and I absolutely love that. I also thank you for being vulnerable and opening up and showing vulnerability. That is a huge step for growth, you guys. And I know this is all on scripts and selling samples and different things, but when you open yourself up and you might be feeling at a low spot, or you aren't feeling encouraged, or you're in your own head, which is most of the time the case, you reach out to an upline, your sideline, somebody, and they will help you, and they will be consistent with you. And but so many people aren't vulnerable, and they're too proud, or they're too embarrassed to show any weakness. And so I think that is so amazing that you did that, and then you were opened and welcomed, and now you're just ready to rock. And so it gave you another level of confidence, I feel like, and you're sitting up a little bit straighter. And so thank you so much for that. I know I have a talk with my team a lot about vulnerability and about opening up. And, we are a family when we become part of this. And that's one of the cultures of It Works that is so amazing, is that we get to be there for each other. And we, sometimes we can reach out to our teammates and our sidelines easier than we can our friends that might have been our friends forever, because we're all in the same place. We all want the same things, and we're goal driven. And so thank you for sharing that. I know that was kind of totally off cue, but but I think it was important. I think it's important, you
Well,
guys.
I think
So
it really is because, there's a lot of people that come into this and they have the trust and the belief that they can do this. And then the work comes in. And when it's something new and when people talk about stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe, like stepping into that discomfort is a better way to put it. Like step into it, embrace where you are and just work your strengths and just elevate every single day.
yes, yes. Thank you so much. So Amy, I'm gonna unmute you and see if you have anything left. I know that that last little segment might be you might have triggered something or you might have thought of something since you talked last. So do you have any last little words of advice or
So, I mean, like Aaron pretty much said it all. I feel like that, and I've been with It Works for going on 5 years, and this is my second time around. I feel like that because we are legit family, like we have connected in so many ways, that if you follow the steps, if you stay connected, if you get on the Zooms and, that in itself has helped me to just have more confidence, in this business and not get distracted or not get discouraged. Your self-development, my prayer time is important to me. So me getting up early, I work full time at a school. And I know Melissa's a teacher. I'm dead by the time I get home, really, and I manage the office. And so, with COVID, it's just been a mess. And I've been there for 20 years. But I had to get my mindset, me, right, in order for me to be able to juggle them both. So getting up earlier, having my time with God, my worship time, the word, whatever book I'm going to read, all of that plays a part, and I do the same when I get home. When I get home, I take some time for myself to bring myself down from the day, and then I kick right into It Works. And so, at lunchtime, I'm on It Works. And so if you want it, it's here for you. You just have to have confidence. You have to stay connected and you have to do it and not let the distractions get in your way. If I would have let the distractions stay in my way, I wouldn't have never promoted any further than Ruby. But because of me following Christ and staying in the business, because I felt like that this is where I was supposed to be, the doors have opened up for me. And so I'm grateful.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you. I see you every morning on our Zooms. I know you work full time and you're still there. You still show up. And I feel like we've never met in person, but I feel like we know each other. Like I feel like if we seen each other, we'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Amy, it's you!" Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that day. And so I love that you are staying connected and it does help you and it keeps you on task. I know I don't work anymore out of the home and this is my full time. And so I have to clock in every morning at 8:00. And that is just like me punching a time clock. Yeah. I clock in every day. I don't schedule anything in my day, not a hair appointment, not a doctor's appointment, nothing for my kids until after I know that I have my morning work time done. So I don't schedule anything until 10:30 because I know I have to show up every day here at 8. If I don't, I might get fired. So I just have that in my list. This is my job.
And that's what you have to do.
Yeah. And I love that.
So, putting it in and this is my last thing, me being able to see, I'm ready, after COVID and everything, I've been 20 years, I'm ready to be done. And so now I have a plan and a goal set for myself so that I can retire myself early and not be stressed out because it just took too much out of me. And so I'm ready to be done. So I know I'm working my plan now. That's my why.
Good. I'm so excited to be at that retirement party. All right. So thank you all, Christy. I don't see Christy anymore, but I do see that she threw in a ton of scripts in the chat. So if you guys go down to those 3 dots at the bottom of the screen, you can save everything. So you can save the chat. It will say file and there's 3 little dots. So those that don't know, you can you can save it. And so I want to just thank you all for being on. Thank you, Christy. You're back. I see you back. So thank you guys. And you have a wonderful week, and let's kill it with those samples selling. All right. Bye, you guys.